not a book review. This is just a fucking tangent and a rant. I should just say that from the beginning. Note, warning, you have been warned. This is not a book review. It's just a fucking rant and a tangent. Hey everybody, it's Edie, and today I'm doing another book review. Holy shit! I've never done book reviews on this channel, and now I'm doing 2 book reviews back to back. So if you missed last week's video, then you missed me doing the book review of The Memory Painter by Gwendolyn Womack, and I highly recommend that book, so go check out that video if you want to see my review on that. And today I'm doing a book review that I really had not planned on doing. I was not going to talk about this book. I was not going to talk about this. I was actually not going to rant about this book. So if you follow me on Facebook, you probably saw a post where I said I will not rant about the Warrior Goddess Training book. I will not rant about Warrior Goddess Training. I will not rant about Warrior Goddess Training. And people are like, oh my God, you gotta do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do the book review. And we want to see the rant. So that's what today's video is. Oh my God. Oh, people are gonna hate this video because I know a lot of people love this book. Which I get it. I get why it can be helpful for certain people, but oh God. Alright, so today I am reviewing the Warrior Goddess Training book by Heatherash Amara. And let me just preface this by saying this is my personal opinion about this book. If you loved it, if it was helpful to you, if it helped you transform your life, then hell yeah, rock on with your badass self. And I'm very proud of you, and I love that this book was beneficial to you. I did not have that experience with this book, so allow me to have my opinion, you have your opinion, and let's just agree to disagree, okay? Warrior Goddess Training. This book has been around for several years. It's super popular. It constantly pops up in my Facebook feed. Maybe it's just targeted to me. I don't know. But I used to always see it in my Pinterest feed. It pops up on my Facebook feed. And it's been a book that I've wanted for years. I wanted this book. And I just kind of always put it off. You know, it's been in my Amazon wish list for probably 3 years. And when I first wanted this book was back before I went through my own personal transformation, back before I went through all of this self-love, before I went through my self-love pilgrimage, before I got the tattoo, before I actually started to like myself, much less love myself. I wanted this book back when I fucking despised myself. And back then, it may have been very beneficial to me. It may have been exactly what I needed at the time, and it might have helped me along my path at that time. Where I am now, already okay with who I am and already loving myself, period. Not just as I am, just I love myself, period. And having gone through my own transformation, I think I'm just leaps and bounds beyond where this book could take me. But that's not the main issue that I have with the book. So obviously, anytime you go into any of these type of books, any of these self-help type of books, you need to find a book that's going to be in line with where you currently are and where you are trying to go. So if you get a book that's so far advanced and so far beyond where you're currently at, the book's not going to do you any good. And if you get a book that is at the beginning stages, like people just dipping their toe, and you're already far beyond that, the book's not going to do you any good. So you need to find books that resonate with where you currently are and kind of help you get to that next stage, get to that next phase, go through that next metamorphosis. That's the kind of book that you need. Otherwise, the book's not going to do jack shit for you. And that was the case for me with this book. But that's not why I dislike this book. Because I was actually prepared for that. And I started journaling because not only did I get the Warrior Goddess Training book, I got the Warrior Goddess Training Companion Workbook. And I was going to do both of them together. And I had the audiobook version. Well, I had the print version, the paperback version of the, actually I had the ebook version of the companion book, and then I had the audiobook version of the Warrior Goddess Training book. And I was going to use them the way you're supposed to, which is in tandem. So you listen to the chapter, and then she gives you some prompts at the end of the chapter, and then you go and you read the workbook, and it's kind of a recap, and then you do the additional prompts that she gives you in the companion workbook. So that was my plan. And I started listening to the book, and I even wrote in my journal before I started working on the book that this is a book I've wanted for a very long time. It may or may not be helpful at this point, but I still want to give it a try and see if there is anything else beneficial in the book. Maybe there's something that I don't know. Maybe there's something that it's going to make me think about. Maybe there's something that I hadn't considered. Maybe it is still just going to take me to that next level. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect from the book. But I went into the book with an open mind, knowing that I may be beyond where the book would take me, but still hoping that it had some nuggets of gold in there. So the copy that I had is the Sounds True version, and it is narrated by the actual author, Heatherash Amara. And I don't know if that played a part in my lack of connection to this book or not, but oh God, I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to begin. So let me just go over the premise of the book. So become the woman you are meant to be. So this book is supposed to be an empowerment guide of sorts in order to help you connect to your true self and to empower yourself, and for you to learn to love and accept yourself. And it's a self-help book for women's empowerment. That's what it is. And in the beginning of the book, she talks about her connection to Don Miguel Ruiz, who is the guy who wrote the 4 Agreements. And throughout the book, she references him and the agreements multiple times. So if you have read the 4 Agreements, there may be things in this book that also resonate with you. You don't have to have read the 4 Agreements in order to read this book, but I think if you are familiar with Don Miguel's work, and if you are familiar with the 4 Agreements, that some of this may resonate with you on a better level than it did with me. I have not read the 4 Agreements. I own the book. I have not read the book. And after this, I probably will not read the book. Anyway, so let me see if I can just read you an excerpt for this book. So the description on Amazon is fairly long, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but here's an excerpt from the description on Amazon. In Warrior Goddess Training, best-selling author Heatherash Amara provides the antidote to the flawed idea that you are not enough. Direct, honest, and unapologetic, Amara will show you how to release the layers of expectations to finally see yourself for the authentic, perceptive, perfect woman you really are. If you don't love and honor yourself with every fiber of your being, if you struggle with owning your power and passion, if you could use more joyful play and simple presence in your life, then it is time for an inner revolution. Yeah, so that's a brief excerpt from the excerpt of the About page on Amazon. So, God, I don't even know where to begin. When you look at the cover for this book, and when you read the description of this book, it comes across as something that's going to be incredibly empowering and powerful and fierce even. It's warrior goddess energy. It is tapping into that inner warrior and claiming that power within yourself and then bringing that power to the surface. It's about learning to love yourself. It's believing that you are enough. It's about squashing all that bullshit and all those old ideas and all those lies that you've told yourself and that other people have told you. Like, that's what comes across to me from reading the title and the excerpt of this book. And it comes across as something that's supposed to be very stand full in your power, hear me roar, I am woman, hear me roar kind of energy. But then when you listen to, as I did, or read the book, it comes across very differently. Maybe it just needed a different title. I don't know. But the whole idea behind this book is that it's warrior goddess energy. But when you read it or listen to it, it is so not. There is no warrior in this book whatsoever. Yes, there are some helpful prompts. Yes, she does cover her own personal experience and kind of the shit that she went through, and her transformation and how she learned to love herself. But I don't think she necessarily gives any tactile, real life application to that. There are some prompts in there that may make you think, but for the most part, I think it's a lot of fucking fluff. And so I listened to it by the author. The Sounds True version of it is read by Heatherash Amara. And she's so soft and so fucking saccharine. And when she reads it to you, she's like, sweetie, just do this and it's all okay. And that is what really pissed me off with this book. There's no warrior goddess energy. Really, it's just about ignoring shit. That's really what this book will help you do. This book will help you to ignore shit. It will not help you heal. It will not help you work through. It will help you turn off the fucking light switch and then it doesn't exist anymore, which really pisses me off. Especially because of the way it's marketed and the demographic that it's marketed to. So the way she presents things, and I will try to find an excerpt for you and play it to drive this point home. But what she does is basically says, when life hands you a bunch of shit, whenever life sucks, whenever you are really down and out, when you're really hating yourself, when you feel like you're not enough, whenever you get fired from your job, or your husband just leaves you unexpectedly, or whenever life is handing you a big pile of shit, you just turn it off, find the positive in it, and everything is all better. So I was gonna play an excerpt for you to kind of explain, to kind of showcase why I feel the way I do, but there are just so many. I would be here all day. I think basically the main problem, what it boils down to, are just a couple of things. One, it's marketed as warrior goddess training, and it's touted as just being this powerful transformation, and it's not. There's no warrior anything in this book. It's also marketed as a guidebook to help you transform your life. And really, when you pay attention to what she's telling you to do, it's more along the lines of ignoring your history, ignoring your feelings, ignoring your life, and then just pretending that everything is all better, and then therefore it will be. So one of the things that she talks about is changing your story, which in theory is a very good starting point, because sometimes the stories that we tell ourselves are complete bullshit, or we're so wrapped up in the story that we can't see past it. And so while in theory changing your story is a good thing to do, and I am totally behind it, her idea of changing your story is basically, this is your story, this is what happened, but let's just take all the positive stuff that you got from that, ignore all the shit that went along with it, and ignore the real feelings and the real trauma that you experienced, and let's just look at the positive. We're gonna turn it off. Have you heard the songs from Book of Mormon, the song Turn It Off, where you have this thought, you have this feeling, you have this emotion, whatever it is, turn it off, it doesn't exist anymore, and then everything is all peachy keen. That's the energy that comes across behind this book. And while some of her ideas in theory, again, may be good ideas, her execution and the way she explains for you to go about using it in your life, and the practical application of it, fails miserably. It fails miserably. And she does have a few exercises, and I have in my notes, where in theory her idea behind the exercise was a good idea, but the way she then presented it sucked ass. And it's so sweet and so saccharine, and sweetie, it's gonna be okay, and we're just gonna turn it off, and then it's all great. I can't stand that shit, especially when it's presented as a warrior goddess. So this is actually taking me off on a tangent. This is not not a book review. This is just a fucking tangent and a rant. I should just say that from the beginning. This is like an epidemic. This has become an epidemic in our society, especially in the women-centric world. This is an epidemic. People overuse these words. All of these course teachers and authors and artists and creatives of all sorts use these words, warrior and goddess and fierce and badass. Like, these words are so overused. But then you get into the course, or then you read the book, or then you take the class or whatever it is, and there's none of that energy whatsoever. I can't even tell you how many classes I have taken and how many books I have read that were warrior goddess or badass, what have yous, or just those overused words that imply power. Something about getting in touch with your inner power. All of that shit. And then you get in and it's just like, today we're going to be very gentle with ourselves, and we're going to hold hands, and we're just going to like change our stories, and then everything is going to be okay, and sunshine and rainbows, and it's all love and light, and it's just going to be great. I can't fucking tell you how many times I have taken a class, going into it expecting to have this fucking warrior experience, and then it's love and light and happiness. Oh my God, that drives me fucking insane. So for someone like me, who actually wants to put things out into the world for the warrior, it almost makes me not want to use those words. Whereas that word would be 1000% fitting for the thing that I'm putting out into the world, because it's been so overused and so watered down. It has no fucking meaning anymore. It has no, and that's what pisses me off about this book, is that it's presented as a warrior goddess training. It's going to teach you how to be a warrior goddess. It's going to help you stand within that power. It's going to help you to overcome and fight and battle whatever obstacles you've got, and you are going to be trained as a warrior goddess. And when you come out on the other side, you are going to be a warrior. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. And so for those of us who actually put things out into the world for warriors, I think it gets glazed over and pushed down. And I think people want it to be that energy, and I think people want to use those words because they're trigger points, and I think they want people to believe that that's what it's going to be, but that's not really what it is. What it really is love and light and ignore. And a lot of them do have a lot of really good information. There are some incredible skills attached to these courses, but they are presented in a way that makes you think you're just going to go in and become this warrior goddess. But really, what you're doing is learning to smooth everything over. And while you may gain some very valuable skills, it's going to be presented in a way that's gentle and soft and, light goddess and sunshine goddess. Not fucking warrior goddess. This is not warrior goddess material. And so that really fucking pisses me off and fires me up, because I am a warrior goddess and I want women to be warrior goddesses, but I'm damn sure not going to tell you to ignore what has happened to you, and I'm damn sure not going to tell you to flip a switch and turn it off and just change your story and everything is going to be all better. No, fuck that. Because sometimes you have to fucking fight. It is a battle. You are going to be bloodied and bruised and beaten, but you will damn sure come out on the other side, because you will fucking fight your way through as a warrior. That is what I want to give to the world. But whenever shit like this comes out and it's presented as goddess warrior energy, it just kind of makes everything else look fluffy. Oh God, it fluffifies it. There's no word for it. It fluffifies it. That's my new word, fluffifies. And it takes away the power that it could have. The potential is there, but the execution is so poor. It lacks. It's just so lacking in the execution, and I don't think it provides the kind of energy, one, that it needs to have, nor does it really provide the kind of motivation and sometimes the permission that people need to be given. Because I think a lot of times women need that permission. We're so tied up in our own shit that we need to know that it's okay to step out and be that fucking warrior. We need to know that it's okay. And it's a huge undertaking and an incredible responsibility to be that warrior, to be that leader, to be the one who's leading the charge, you know, front of the fucking pack, axe raised, swinging blindly, hacking down the fucking enemies. Like, it's a big responsibility. And to use those words frivolously and then not deliver, I think does a huge disservice to those of us who are on this pilgrimage. And so it is my fucking mission to create an actual warrior fucking training. Not training, that's not the right word, but something. And I'm in, there's something in the works. There's something a brewing here. There's something a brewing. Because this book has just pissed me off, and it's an epidemic. I see it everywhere. I've taken courses with the actual name warrior in the title. And then it's just been, let's go pick some flowers. Fucking warriors don't pick flowers. They hack off the heads of their goddamn enemies. They fight that shit, and they come out stronger on the other side. So, I can't even review this book because it's not what I needed, and it's not what it is marketed as. So maybe if it had a different title, that'd be great. That'd be great. But it needs to be a title that lets you know that this is going to be an easy, gentle beginner's guide. This is not going to be for someone who is in the trenches. This is not going to be for someone who has already been through the fight and is fucking bloody and whose axe has a lot of fucking notches in it. This is not the book for you. This is the book for, the person who is just now dipping their toe on the road, just now putting that first foot forward on this journey and taking the first steps of their pilgrimage. And so if that's where you are, if you are at a place where you have not dealt with any things from your past, you have not dealt with any of the shit that you have overcome, then this might be a good starting place for you. It is a very gentle read. It is a very gentle book, but I'm telling you now, she will tell you to just ignore a lot of shit. And in the reclaiming, the supposed reclaiming that she has you go through, it's not really reclaiming. It's not. It's a let's do what's safe. Let's do a reclaiming that's safe. We're not going to really reclaim anything, but we're going to tell ourselves that we've reclaimed something. We're not going to really be warriors, but we're going to tell ourselves that we're warriors. And sometimes that's the place that you're in. Sometimes you need to fake it till you can make it. And I totally get that. I was there. I was there at one point, and I had to fake it until I made it. And the first thing that I learned how to do was say thank you. And I know I've told this story before, but when I first started on this self-love pilgrimage, I couldn't even take a compliment. If someone complimented me, I would have to say, thanks, but, or yeah, but, or no, not really. And I would downplay it, and I would tear it apart, and I would turn that compliment into a lie. I would turn their compliment into a lie, which makes people feel like shit, by the way, because if someone compliments you, odds are they mean it. They're not just telling you, oh, you look so nice today, just to be nice. No, fuck that. They don't give a shit. They're not going to tell you that if they don't mean it. You have sparked something in them. You have moved them. You have evoked this compliment from them. And I couldn't take it. And so I would rip their compliment down. And I had to learn to just shut up. Thank you, shut the fuck up. And I had to fake it until I could make it. I couldn't say anything back I could just say thank you, shut the fuck up. I couldn't accept the compliment. I didn't believe it. I didn't take it on. I still thought they were fucking lying to me or making shit up or just being nice. I didn't fucking believe them, but I didn't let them know that. And I didn't then tear their compliment down, and I didn't then make them feel like shit for trying to compliment me. I learned to say thank you and shut the fuck up. And I had to fake it until I made it, until I actually started to believe those compliments. And if you are at that place where you need to fake it till you can make it, then yeah, go out and actually I would not say buy this book at all, really, for anybody. But maybe that's where you are, and maybe it would be helpful for someone in that place. Maybe if you are an incredibly timid person, if you are someone who needs a gentle hand, if you need someone to hold your hand, let you know that it's going to be okay, and kind of guide you through the first initial steps, if that's where you are, then maybe this book will be beneficial to you. If you have more fight in you and more fire in your spirit, or if you are any further along on the journey than the first 2 or 3 steps, this book is not for you. So I don't know if I have articulated myself fully or not. Probably not. I think I've just gone off on a tangent. I don't know if I made any fucking sense. I hope I got my point across. Whatever. I did not like the book. I do not recommend this book at all. Again, unless you're just dipping your toe. Unless you are just curious as to what life could possibly hold for you, or what it would be like if you could only, then maybe. Other than that, no. So that is it for today. I'm going to stop this rant. I don't know if this is going to ever see the light of day. I honestly don't, because this is not a book review. I'm not even going to title it that, because that's not what it is. It's just a fucking rant, really. That's really all it is. So yeah, I'm cutting it off there. That's it for today. If you like what I do here, don't forget to hit the little subscribe button. That way you don't miss anything. And then click the little bell. That way you get the notifications from YouTube that let you know I've actually uploaded a video. You need to subscribe and click the bell in order to get the notifications, because YouTube, Facebook, and pretty much everywhere else are making it almost impossible for you to know that your peeps have done something. So make sure you're getting the notifications directly in your email. Thank you all so much for being here and hanging out with me today during this rant. If you agree with me, I would love to hear your comments down below. Does this piss you off? Does this whole fake warrior bullshit piss you off? Have you taken courses or read books or taken classes or connected with people who led you to believe that you were going to be taking this warrior goddess training, and then you get in there and it's completely deflated and sugar-coated and all goodness and light? Have you had that experience, and how did that make you feel? I mean, was that what you needed? Did you go in because you didn't want the warrior experience, but you liked the phrase? Like, how did you end up in that course or with that book? What was your experience with it? How did it make you feel? Do you wish you had gotten more? Do you wish it was more warrior energy? Or were you happy with the love and light and happiness vibe that came out of it? So yeah, I'd love to hear your comments down below. Again, this is my personal opinion, so if you disagree with it, that's fine. You can leave your comments down below, but do not be an asshat, because I will delete your comment. I am totally open to rational conversation about this, but trolls, keep it to yourselves. That is it for today. Remember, you are fierce, you are fabulous, and you are fucking badass. So keep that shit up, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye!